Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another 10 pens currently inked for this week. I think let's go through these one by one. We'll go through them in a little bit more detail and then we'll do a writing sample. So from left to right we have the brand or JD, and this is the X550 in blue. We have another one in green. We have a TWSBI Vac 700R Iris, and this has some very interesting neon green ink. We have another TWSBI Vac 700R Iris with some neon orange ink. We have a Mr. Cypress, and this is the Eggshell 01. A Mr. Cypress Eggshell 05A. We have a Mr. Cypress Eggshell 06. And we also have a Mike Green, and this is his Dragon Scale pen, and I will have a review of this very shortly. I have a Mr. Cypress, and this is the Maki-e Goldfish, and then we have a Mr. Cypress, and this is the Raden Mosaic number 4. So I think let's take a look at these pens inked up in a little bit more detail. So this is effectively a Pilot Custom Urushi, and this is, I'm just actually seeing here, there you go. It is a clone of a Pilot Custom Urushi. This is, I actually have a Jinhao 9019 nib on here, and a Jinhao converter. This is essentially, I believe, called a JD. I see it as a brand advertised, X550. It is very similar to the Pilot Custom Urushi Vermilion. It is a brass made pen though, with resin, but this is quite a weighty pen and large pen, and I can post the cap on this pen. It really is quite weighty, and you just screw it in like so, and it is a large pen. And I have to say that I think I've shown this already on the review, but this is the Pilot Custom Urushi Vermilion. So if I just remove this one and put it there, you can see that it's almost identical in size. So and also colour, sort of size, the shape, the colour's obviously different. And I also have this one inked up this week as well, and this is the green version of this. Essentially, it's not branded on here at all, as far as I'm aware, but I know I've seen it listed as JD, I've seen it listed as brand metal, I've seen it listed as Jinhao. It's called an X550, so I've got it in the blue and I've got it in the green. I'm seriously thinking about maybe getting it in the mustard colour as well. But like with this one and the previous one, I actually have a number 8 size Jinhao 9019 nib there. I have the section that effectively is not the original section, because this comes with a number 6 size nib, both of these. This is a section made by Mike Green at Mike's Pen Fun, and he actually makes this out of ebonite with a little sort of gold coloured ring here, not metal, but it allows you to not only put a Jinhao 9019 nib in here, but also a Jinhao converter, 1919 converter. Now if I unscrew this, you can see there it's got a massive converter. So I have to say, I really like this combination. I really wish that brand or JD or whoever makes these pens would actually put a Jinhao 9019 nib in there. But I know that if this isn't a Jinhao pen, then it's a little bit sort of, how are they going to sell it with a Jinhao nib? I guess they could, but it's not going to go down too well probably with Jinhao. But I like the way that I've been able to retrofit this 9019 nib into these two pens. I only have 2 of these sections. Strangely enough, when I asked Mike if he could make these, because he's made them for a few other friends as well, He did say that he could make me more if I wanted, and I said, look, I'm okay with 2. I'm not going to look at potentially buying any more, but now I'm kind of thinking maybe I should go for the mustard as well. There's a black one and there's a red one. I'm not into black pens, so I don't think I want the black one, and I've got a Pilot Custom Urushi Vermilion in red, so I'm not so sure that I'd want that either. But the mustard, possibly. So I will have to have a think about that one. I could put a yellowy, mustardy coloured ink in there, something like Lamy Mango. I'm just trying to think of other yellow inks I've got there. I've got an Ackerman ink, Dutch Masters ink there. So sort of apricot coloured ink. So I could get the mustard one if I wanted to. Do I need to? No. But then, do I want to? Possibly. So I don't know. I'll have a think about that one. The next pen inked up is this one. It's a TWSBI Vac 700R. It's a little bit inky there in the cap, but it has this neon green ink. Now, this is a pigmented ink. It's not a dye-based ink like a lot of fountain pen ink. There's a lot more pigmented ink coming out. And this is an ink by Octopus, and it's simply called Neon Green. And I think you can see why. This is a very neon green ink. So I have this inked up in a broad TWSBI Vac 700R nib there. It's a steel nib. It is a vac filling pen. I can post the cap. You know, I'm as most of you know, I'm not a cap poster. I don't feel the need to post the caps. I certainly don't post the TWSBI caps. I think the only one is a TWSBI Vac Mini where I have wanted to post it. But this is an interesting ink. If you want to write in a neon colour, you really can write in that. It's a beautiful ink. The green and the orange very much reminds me of the 1980s when you used to get little green and orange neon ankle socks. I used to have some, strangely enough. I think I had several pairs of them. But they were an interesting neon colour, and I think I even had a yellow as well. You can get Octopus ink in the neon yellow. I chose not to because I thought it probably wouldn't be legible on a page. And then this one, TWSBI Vac 700R, is inked up with the neon orange, and again you can see that is a really, really neon colour there. So again, TWSBI Vac 700R, broad steel nib on this pen. Yes, I can post a cap. I'm not going to. I have been writing with this ink quite a lot, so both of these pens are sort of not out of ink, but getting a little bit low on ink, I would say. So I probably will need to ink those back up. I kind of do like writing with them, but it's also very neon. So you do have to be a little bit careful, and I do feel sorry for some of my pen pals that are having to read letters written in those neon bright colours. So I'm sorry to my pen pals, but I'm sure that they're finding it fun. The next pen inked up is the Mr. Cypress. This is the Eggshell 01A, and I do love this pen a lot. It really is a beautiful Urushi Maki-e Raden pen. I didn't think I was going to like this as much as I do. I think it was because there was a lot of black on the pen. I wasn't so sure about having the Raden strips uneven here across the cap and the body, and also the eggshell at the end tips on both of these ends. But I have to say, this pen has really, really grown on me, and I really do love this pen. So I do have a 14 karat gold nib on this one. It's a medium Mr. Cypress nib there. It is a converter pen. I can't post the cap. It's not designed to do so, but you can see here it's a decent size of pen. It's about 150 millimeters long, and you can see there that it's got about a finger's width here at the top of the pen tray. So it is a long pen, certainly longer than other pens, but it's a nice pen. The other pen that I also didn't think I was going to like as much, but it has grown on me a little bit, not maybe as much as the Eggshell 01A or 01, but this is the Eggshell 05A, and this is again a Urushi Maki-e Raden. You've got the what is duck's eggs crushed here. You've got the abalone stripes just peeking out around those eggshells. Again, a really beautiful Cypress pen. Some of these artisans for Mr. Cypress are really producing some good quality artwork, and this really is artwork. Yes, it's a pen. Yes, you can write with it, but it is artwork. And if I unscrew the cap here, you've got a very glittery section, and you've also got a Mr. Cypress 14 karat gold medium nib there. Again, it's a cartridge converter. I cannot post the cap. It's not designed to be posted, but I do like that pen a lot. If you ask me, out of those two, which one I would prefer the most, I would say it's the Eggshell 01. I don't know. I think it's because it's less busy, perhaps. That said, I do like the Eggshell 06. And this was the first Mr. Cypress pen that I purchased. And I purchased this with an 18 karat gold nib originally. And that was, I think, really before I saw that they were doing 14 karat gold nibs. I do like this pen. It is beautiful. It reminds me of my Tatcha, my Abbey, Winter's Breath, and the Emperor's Winter's Breath. But it's a flat top pen, a slight sparkly section, an 18 karat gold medium nib there for Mr. Cypress. Again, it's not designed to be posted. There are a little bit of a step down there, but that doesn't really bother me on these pens. I would much prefer that the artwork or the canvas is flush there, which is going to create a little bit of a step down. However, I'm perfectly fine with that. So from that perspective, I am liking that a lot. And then the next pen here is a pen made by a friend. I have been speaking to him on a Zoom sort of most weeks. He is based in the US, and this is Mike Green from Mike's Pen Fun. And he made this Juma Golden Dragon pen. Absolutely beautiful pen. I am loving this pen. The turning of this pen, the quality of the finish, the polishing, everything I like about this pen. It is a flat top, but it's rounded flat top, which again I kind of like. Like the regular flat tops here on some of the Cypresses and that, and on a lot of other pens are perfectly fine, but they do have a little bit more of a sharper edge to them, whereas this is more rounded. I really do like this material. I have to say, it definitely looks like a dragon scale. If I unscrew here the cap, you'll see there it's got a Bock nib, and this I am loving writing with. You again can't post the cap. It's not designed to be posted. And if I unscrew the body, I have a huge TWSBI converter in here. So that obviously is now out of ink. I'm going to need to ink it back up again. But this is a really decent size in my hand. Really liking this pen. So this was a gift from Mike. He wanted me to review one of his pens, and I'm very thankful that he sent it, and I'm going to be looking at buying some pens from Mike in the future, in the near future. Obviously, that's probably going to be early 2025, I'm guessing, because 2024 is almost over now. The next pen inked up is the Mr. Cypress, and this is the Maki-e Goldfish, and this is just a stunning work of art here. Really, really loving this pen. I have said on other videos though that I do wish it was a little bit longer in not only length here, but also in girth, in thickness. But the work, the artwork, the artisan that made this has done some beautiful work on this pen. And I do love it a lot. I just wish it was a little bit longer and thicker. But that said, hey, look, it's got a number 6 size Mr. Cypress nib on there. I had to get an 18 karat gold nib, and it's a medium nib. You can kind of post the cap, but it's raised here, and I just do not want to mar that finish. Spring-loaded sort of cap there, or inner cap mechanism. So I like the pen. I do love writing with it, but I don't know. It's just, people say size isn't everything, but sometimes it is. And I have to say that in terms of pens, I would like it just to be a little bit longer and a little bit thicker. But that's my preference in pens. I kind of find these ones maybe a little bit too thick in terms of girth. Length, not too much. And then the last pen here is, again, a Mr. Cypress, and this is the Raden Mosaic number 4. And you can see here, it's got these crushed duck's eggs. You've got abalone, I won't say strips, but it's actually sort of like chips with some gold paint there as well. This just looks beautiful. And again, I'm very, very glad that I could add this to my collection. But in hindsight, I think I would prefer a larger pen. Again, I got this with a Mr. Cypress number 6 size 18 karat gold medium nib. And yes, you can post that cap if you want to. But again, like, I don't need to post that cap. I don't really feel the want to post that cap. I do just find that the sections on these are a little bit thinner than I would prefer. Now, this one, again, does have a spring clutch mechanism in a cap there, just to help the ink so that it doesn't dry out so much. It's a beautiful pen, and I am loving writing with it. So I think with that, let's go and do a writing sample. So the first pen inked up is the, I believe, JD, but it's allegedly the Brand X, or Brand Metal X550. So I know some of you said it's not a Jinhao. I've seen it advertised as a Jinhao. I'm sure it's not a Jinhao because I think it would have Jinhao on the clip. So I'm going to first of all do an ink swatch here. And you can see that this is, I have transplanted a Jinhao 1919 nib into this. So I'm going to call this the Brand Metal X550. And it is a medium, and it's a steel Jinhao 1919 nib. And the ink in here is Franklin Christoph Spanish Blue, which is a nice blue ink. I still have a lot of that ink left, and I'm still trying to use it all up. The next pen inked up is the green version of the Brand Metal X550, and these are essentially, as I mentioned, sort of Pilot Custom Urushi clones. And you can see here, again, this nib, although it came with a number 6 size nib, I've transplanted it with a Jinhao 1919 nib, but these nibs write really well. So this is a Brand Metal X550 with a medium, still Jinhao 1919 nib, and the ink in here is KWZ Grass Green. which is a good colour green, to be honest. I do like that quite a lot. The next pen inked up is a TWSBI Vac 700R Iris with a lovely neon colour green. So let's go and have a look at this ink. Yeah, it certainly doesn't disappoint. It is quite a neon colour there. So this is the TWSBI Vac 700R Iris with a broad steel nib. And the ink in here is Octopus Neon Green. I was contemplating putting this in a medium TWSBI Vac 700R, but I thought, you know what, I think it would be better in a broad nib. And then we have another TWSBI Vac 700R Iris, but this time with the neon orange ink. So yeah, that really is neon orange. And the green is certainly fairly green, but this really is neon orange. So this is the TWSBI Vac 700R Iris in a broad steel nib, and the ink in here is Octopus Neon Orange. And I have to say that I'm tempted to get the yellow, but I think it just will not be legible on a lot of paper. I've got Diamine Yellow, and that is just so hard to read on Temuray River. They do have what they call a neon violet, which is more of a violety purple. And I've been thinking about that one, maybe. The next pen inked up is the Mr. Cypress Eggshell 01. And I think I called it 01A actually earlier on. It is the 01. I love this nib. I love that it's got a bit of a bounce to it. Not all of my Cypress nibs have got bounce to it. This one does. So this is the Mr. Cypress, and it's the Eggshell 01. It's a medium, and it's a 14 cat gold nib. And the ink in here is Pilot Iroshizuku Aji Sei, which for some reason is looking a little bit darker there. I think because I've probably left that ink in that pen a little bit too long, and some of the water is evaporating out of the ink. The next pen inked up is the Mr. Cypress Eggshell 05A, and this is the A version. There were multiple versions, and I decided I liked the A. Again, this has a bouncy nib. It's a 14 cat gold nib, and again, I like this. So this is the Mr. Cypress Eggshell 05A. Again, a medium, and again, a 14 cat gold nib. And then the ink in here is Aurora and Klinger, and it is Verdura, which is another nice green colour. It's a little bit more darker than the KWZ Grass Green. The next pen inked up is the Mr. Cypress Eggshell 06. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And again, this has a slight bounce to that nib. Again, it writes really well, but this is not a 14 cat. This is an 18 cat gold nib. So this is the Mr. Cypress Eggshell 06, and it's a medium, and it's an 18 cat gold nib. And the ink in here is Pelican Edelstein, and it is Appetite. I was gonna say Adventurine, but it's not. It's definitely Appetite. The next pen is the Mike Green Juma Golden Dragon. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And it's got a Bock nib, and I do like Bock nibs. I know a lot of people that say that they prefer Yovo over Bock. Never really quite understood it. TWSBI use a Yovo nib for sure. But I just find that Bock nibs write more wetter and a little bit more luxurious. At least that's how I feel. So this is the Mike Green. And it is the Golden Dragon. And this one, I think, is a broad. It's a steel nib. And the ink in here is Diamine Ochre. And I have to say, I do like Diamine Ochre. It is a favourite brown ink of mine. The next pen inked up is the Mr. Cypress Maki-e Goldfish. And we'll do an ink swatch here as well. And I was wondering what colour ink to put in this when I bought it. And I put in what I thought was a non-shimmer gold ink. I didn't really want to put shimmer in here. And so this is the Mr. Cypress. And it's the Maki-e. And it's the Goldfish. And it's a medium, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. And then the ink in here is Robert Oster Gold Antiqua. Which is a gold ink that I've had from Robert Oster for some time. I did buy a replacement bottle recently. I'm down to about half a bottle of the original bottle. But I thought I would just stock up on that again. Because it is an ink that I do like. And then the last pen is a Mr. Cypress. And this is the Raden Mosaic number 4. So we'll do an ink swatch. And this was a newer ink that I bought. I wanted to put Pilot Roshizuku Inaho in this. I've also been wanting to try and find a replacement for Inaho, and because it is end of life, and I found this ink, and it's a pretty good match. Maybe not perfect match, but pretty good. So this is a Mr. Cypress, Raden, and it is the Mosaic. Number 4, and it's a medium, and again it's an 18 karat gold nib, and then the ink in here is another Robert Oster ink. It's a new ink that I bought, and it is a Muddy Bucket, and I'm not so sure that I'm into the name, but I do say that that is a nice browny golden-y sort of colour ink. So I think let's take a look at these pens inked up one more time. So we have a Brand Metal X550 in a medium steel nib inked up with Franklin Christoph Spanish Blue. We have a Brand Metal X550 in a medium steel nib inked up with KWZ Grass Green. We have a TWSBI Vac 700R Iris in a broad steel nib inked up with Octopus Neon Green. We have a TWSBI Vac 700R Iris in a broad steel nib inked up with Octopus Neon Orange. We have a Mr. Cypress Eggshell 01 in a medium 14 karat gold nib inked up with Pilot Roshizuku Aji Sei. We have a Mr. Cypress Eggshell 05A in a medium 14 karat gold nib inked up with Raw and Klinger Verdura. We have a Mr. Cypress Eggshell 06 in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Pelican Edelstein Appetite. We have a Mike Green Golden Dragon in a broad steel nib inked up with Diamine Ochre. We have a Mr. Cypress Maki-e Goldfish in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Robert Oster Gold Antiqua. And we have a Mr. Cypress Raden Mosaic number 4 in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Robert Oster Muddy Bucket. So there you have it. That's my currently inked pens for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye-bye.